Well, good morning, my fellow adventurers. It is day 2 here at Mohican Memorial State Forest. We're at Site 6 still. Just got up. I woke up about 6 o'clock, just as the sun was starting to peek out, and got out of the hammock about 10 after 6. Checked my watch. It is 47 degrees. It's probably about the coldest temperature we saw last night, so it's quite chilly. Definitely compared to our last trip at Archer's Fork. It's cool. I've got my long sleeve shirt on. Alex woke up about 5 minutes ago. She's still sitting in her hammock preparing to get out into the cool weather. Yeah, we weren't expecting, below 50 degrees. We're kind of prepared because we do have the extra shirts and stuff, but it's chilly this morning. And, we're expecting colder temperatures the next 2 nights, so that could be interesting. You can still actually see the moon out this direction. It's kind of neat. I woke up, the first thing I saw was the brightness right over here out to the west where the moon's just about ready to start setting. And of course the sun hasn't even broke across the horizon yet. It doesn't even come up to 6:43, and like I said, it's about 6:15, so about a half an hour before that even happens. So we're definitely up good and early this morning. Should be able to get packed up pretty quick and get out of here. Probably gonna be a little bit slower pack up because we're not used to the hammocks quite as much, but that's okay. We're not in a huge rush today. We have about 4.5–5 miles total, and then we'll get to site and just basically we're going to concentrate on trying to do a good fire tonight and just try to enjoy ourselves. But I slept really well in the hammock. For the most part, my shoulders are a little stiff. I think that's just getting used to being back in a hammock. But I had a pretty good lay. Definitely was able to stretch out and be kind of flat versus being rolled up in, the banana. Where if it was curved like this, looks more like a banana. I was actually able to lay flat in the hammock pretty easily. And like I said, I slept pretty well for the most of the night. I had to get up about 15 to 2 and use the restroom real quick, and then I laid back down, got back underneath the sleeping bag, got warm, and was back out. I didn't hear anything in the woods. Woke up about 4:30 because there was a big, I would assume, truck went down the road over here where the trailhead is for 5 and 6. That kind of woke me up. It sounded like it may have even been a diesel because it was really loud. But other than that, I didn't really hear anything in the woods at all last night until the birds started coming out with the sun. But yeah, other than the cool weather, pretty good morning so far. We're gonna probably start packing up and then get some breakfast going. Get our bear bag down. We do have our cold soaks up there. Boy, it's gonna be some cold breakfast this morning. Might be interesting. It's about the coldest I've ever had it. But yeah, I got our cold soaks with our oatmeal like we've been doing. So guys, day 2 here, we're out on the trail, got packed up, leaving the site. It's about 8:30, so that's pretty good. About 2.5 hours to just kind of pill around, eat some breakfast, and get everything tore down. Took a little bit extra time because we know we're not pressed for time today. There's no huge mileage. We're looking at maximum 5 miles today. Feeling pretty good. Slept pretty good. How you feel, Alex? Doing okay now?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. It's really cold and my knee's still kind of sore, but it's early on in the day. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, so we'll just kind of take our time, especially going down some of these declines and inclines that we may have today, just to make sure that her knee doesn't really bother her too much. But yeah, it's cool. I went ahead and took off my second shirt because I know getting on trail I'll start getting warm pretty quickly. In fact, as I was finishing packing up, I was getting warm. So I went ahead and did that. Now this is part of the trail yesterday that we didn't video because we literally went straight to Site 6. I think I got a little bit of this as we come down, going to get water there at Pine Run, but really beautiful pine forest today in the morning with the sun coming in. The sky is pretty much blue. Granted, we can't see it completely open, so there may be some clouds, but we haven't really seen a lot. we'll go down through here and kind of battle the mud a little bit, and we'll show you what Pine Run looks like in this area. And I believe we do have to cross it and then head over towards the west, heading over to our site for the day, site 4. But definitely pretty this morning. Yeah, I mean, it's cool, it's chilly, but it's beautiful in the woods this morning though. Wednesday morning, what is it, August 5th?
Yep.
Wednesday, August 5th, early in the morning on the trail here at Mohican Memorial State Forest, guys. So guys, we've come down the elevation from Site 6 past Site 5 to Pine Run. I calculated it out, it's almost a half a mile from Site 6 down to here, and then of course you've got to go back. So you're talking, if you end up at Site 6 and you don't have water and you need to come down and filter, you have an extra mile that you will have to hike, like 9/10 of a mile. Site 5 is about half that, so you're looking at about half a mile. So, but the difference is you probably won't have signal. If you're wanting cell signal, you won't have signal at Site 5, but you will at Site 6. So just to let you know that kind of information. And we were going to video a little bit at Site 5 to kind of give you guys an idea, but there's a group there and they actually weren't up, and we weren't going to kind of intrude. But this is Pine Run in this area in the morning. It's a real pretty area, except for all this mud over here on the side. I'm going to walk down here. This is kind of down in this direction is where we went down to filter some.
Yeah, I think this section of where we go from the trail anyways.
Yeah. Trail's actually over there, but it's muddy, so we kind of skirted that and come this direction. Trail's a lot drier now than it was this time. Well, you know, yesterday when we come down through, this time 12 hours ago or so. I guess 10 hours actually, but we came down to right about here and went out and filtered.
It's a really pretty area.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is where we filtered water and did our business yesterday, took care of stuff. And we're going out that direction. Eventually this will cross Pine Run and we'll head over into that direction. This is the first major creek crossing we've seen. This is Pine Run. The trail comes out right over here and you go across to where you see Alex standing. We kind of made a little bypass and got around it without getting our feet too wet. Of course, we do have the waterproof boots, so that helped. This is a beautiful area, guys. I love it. Got that big pine tree over the creek there. And even out this direction, it's still really pretty. Really digging this area. It'd be nice if you could have a campsite very close to this creek, like right over there would be awesome. If you could disperse camp here in Mohican, it would be great, but of course, yeah, they don't allow that, so you have to stay at those park and pack sites, and none of them are really close to Pine Run except Site 2. Site 3 is actually kind of close too. It's up away from it. You've seen both of those on our channel before, but yeah, definitely a really, really, really pretty area, guys. We're at about a mile and a quarter. You know, we did come across Pine Run, had a nice little elevation up to this flat here, and now we're just kind of walking along the trail. It's definitely a wide open trail, kind of back into a pine forest a little bit. Really quiet, guys. Right there at Pine Run, there actually is a house, and over here is private property. We've seen a number of signs: no hunting, no fishing, no trespassing. But as you come up out of Pine Run, there was a house literally right there on the trail. And I'd assume some of this property was theirs, and then this may be other people's property now. Or it may still be theirs, depending on how big of a plot of land they've got. But this trail is wide open. Of course, it is part of the horse trail that's out this direction. But yeah, definitely a pretty forest to be hiking in early in the morning on a Wednesday. Really quiet. Not seen anybody on trail other than the group that was asleep at Site 5. Haven't really heard anybody either. We heard a couple of cars when we passed that house because there was a road just out in front of it. And we're seeing sporadic patches of mud, kind of like what we've got right through here. We get past it and then it's dry for a while. So it's not too awful bad. The trail is starting to dry out some. I think we might be going up a little bit now. See how that plays out, what type of elevation we're looking at. But yeah, a mile quarter in, and it hasn't really been that bad, except the one elevation. It's just about 10 o'clock, and we make a pretty decent time. Kind of spilled out off the trail here and kind of doing a little bit of a road walk. I believe the road actually ends up here and the trail meets it. Looks like we're actually coming up on some camping areas, because that looks like that may be a cabin there, and there's a trailer there. I don't know if this is part of the park or if this is actual house. Looks like it's actual house. But we're kind of watching for this where the trail's at. Yeah, that's an actual house right there. I thought at first it might be cabins for the park. Much prettier weather than what we had yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got a little bit of a road walk here. Oh, it's a little bit of an incline. That kind of burning the calves. We're at roughly 2.25 mile, 3/4 miles. So making okay time, not great. Alex is favoring her knees, so I'm kind of just biding my time, kind of not rushing it. Oh, I've seen this on a video before. I didn't know where it was. Interesting. It's an old church, guys. I never knew where this was. Now I found it. Awesome. And there's a cemetery over here. Say it's an old cemetery. I wouldn't be surprised if some really cool dates. If you notice, the date that this was established was 1803. That's a long time ago. 217 years ago. Old cemetery. There's probably some very old plots in there. Doing okay?
Yeah.
There's some new ones too. This one's 2004. Yeah, we're still on the trail right there's a blue blaze. Interesting. I didn't realize we had a road walk like this. These little posts right here are actually plots. Those are probably some of the oldest in the cemetery, I'm sure. It's kind of hard to imagine when this cemetery was actually established. You know, they were still doing horse-drawn carriages and everything in the area. It's not really hard to imagine. I mean, you just know that, but with how far we've come along in technology, it's just kind of interesting to see something this old. Nice little area though. We're over here beside this pine forest going down into the valley there. But yeah, I wasn't expecting this. Like I said, I've seen that particular church in other people's videos online, and I never knew where it was. Didn't realize it was on this trail, so kind of interesting discovery. Really awesome we were able to find that and see it. We're leaving the cemetery area and still walking along this road. And this will lead us back over here to the site. Go ahead and check all trails and make sure. But I don't believe we've reached that area just yet. It's a little ways off still. Yeah, I probably got at least a quarter mile, if not a little bit more. Road walking's okay. We've actually had a lot more elevation today than we did yesterday. And I kind of had warned Alex of that this morning. That's why we're kind of taking it a little bit slower because of that knee. Don't want to risk actually injuring it. I mean, if you're favoring it already, you just kind of cruise with it a little bit. Not sure. I guess she just tweaked it somewhere along the way before we left the house. And then it's just flared up as we've hiked a little bit more. That tends to happen sometimes. May have to take a, we were talking about doing another trip next week. We may have to take that week off and let her rest it really good, and then maybe the following week we can get out for a couple of nights. Trying to pile a little bit in before school does start, because it's much easier to get out right now with her than later. Nice little house. Kind of interesting seeing this stuff on trail here. I mean, this is where the trail leads. Kind of reminds me of, not so much like reminds me of Germantown, but you know, the way the trail actually, that's private property. Hey, you need a break?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, take 5. Couple, whatever. Alex is holding out. You doing okay? Need some water or?
Yeah, I was actually about to ask.
All right. Always grab her water. It's just easier to pull it off the pack that way, so she don't have to stretch around and grab it.
Yeah, contortion is not my expertise.
Not as flexible as we should be, I guess. It's the one thing probably I need to work on. Still pretty weather, and it is just now 5 after 10. So yeah, we're definitely making pretty decent time, and I'm figuring we'll be at site and actually set up well before 1. We'll have lunch and then just have the rest of the day to gather wood and, like I said, let her rest her legs so we can try to enjoy tomorrow. Worst case scenario, if it has flared up and it doesn't seem to want to go down, we can head home tomorrow. You know, it's not a big deal. We were wanting to do that extra night, but I'm not going to push her leg and have it become a problem. Try to get
Seems like the only problem right now is you trying to get my water bottle in the bag.
I got it. But I don't want her to push that leg and have it flare up. Worst case scenario, if it would happen to flare up or it's swollen tomorrow or even later today, like I said, we can head out. To actually get to the car from site 4 would be less than a mile. If it has swollen up and it's flared up and she's actually in some pain tomorrow, we'll probably go home. I'll let her ice it really good tomorrow night. We'll see how she's doing. And worst case scenario, Friday I can get her to the doctor and make sure there's nothing seriously wrong. Good thing is, with how young she is, a knee injury generally will heal on its own. So, and I don't think it's really injury. I think it's just a flare-up where we've done a little bit more hiking than we had been doing. That happens sometimes. But she's making it today. And like I said, if we can get her to rest it today, maybe elevate it some in her hammock, may start feeling better. Yes, and here is the state forest boundary. So we're heading back into the state forest now. So I would assume this was a public road, of course, and then from here on in is part of the forest. And the trail should be just over here shortly. We really shouldn't have much elevation left today. Probably some declination, but no inclination. And that'll be definitely welcome. That's one reason I'm not really complaining about this road walk. I don't particularly like asphalt because it's hard on my ankles, but I'm handling it pretty decent today. And I know asphalt walking will be easier on her knee than being in the woods climbing rocks.
Very true, very true. If I had this injury at Archer's Fort, we probably wouldn't have made it the whole trip. Which, like you said, it's not even an injury. I don't know what I did, but it started kind of being a little sore yesterday. And then I woke up this morning and it was still not feeling great. And it's starting to ease into some pain now.
Yeah, that's not good. And she did take actually a little bit of inflammation reliever. She took one naproxen this morning. And unfortunately, she can't really take another one for about 12 hours. I mean, basically, what is it, two or... Well, it's 2 a day from, or 3 a day from me, but I think at your age you're only supposed to do 2. So
yeah.
Basically,
so I basically won't be able to take another one until probably about 8 later tonight, maybe 7 earliest.
Probably 7:30.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably about 7:30 she can take another one. But I'm hoping by then, you know, being off of it, we'll elevate it in the hammock. It may start feeling better. And then let her take another naproxen, and if there's any inflammation, it should go down. And should be able to, I think we'll be okay for tomorrow, but we'll see. This might be the trail here, I don't know. Or it could just be another service road up to some of those gas mains we've been seeing along the way.
Yeah. There's a lot of gas mains.
And this is another parking site. I would assume it's for, you know, another area you can park for 2, 3, and 4 in one, where you can avoid that incline going out. So here's another parking spot, guys. Might get 2 cars here. Maybe if you have a truck, you could pull it up in there if you're careful.
Yeah.
But back onto the trail, heading into the woods again, guys, off that road. Actually says no snowmobiles up in here. At least it doesn't look like there's an elevation immediately, so that's kind of nice. So guys, we're going ahead and try to get on over here to Site 4, see what it looks like. Never been to Site 4, never even seen it. So looking forward to that, another new site. In fact, if we do get to stay tomorrow night, I will have completed 50% of the sites here and seen at least 7 out of 10 of them. If I don't walk on up to, well, no, actually, we have a chance to see Site 1 tomorrow. If her leg's feeling good enough, it's a little bit more mileage, but we can walk past Site 1. If it's not, we're just going to go on and head to the car and make the determination from there whether we're going to stay or not. We'll see how it goes. So we came to this division that I was talking about. We go out this way, that will take us back to the car, but also take us past Site 1. Out this direction is Site 2, 3, and 4. And right here, there's this little structure that I'm not sure who come in and built, but it's kind of neat. It's a little like TP stick structure. I was looking to see if there was actually fire ring or something sitting here that maybe they come in and did. Maybe Boy Scout, I'm not sure, but this is kind of interesting. That took a lot of work for somebody to come in and do. This actually would be a nice spot for a campsite. But yeah, right here at the entrance, basically this is the bottom part of the loop that goes out to Site 1, and this way takes us out to Site 2, 3, and 4. It's kind of interesting. That had to be a big group that come in and did that at some point in time. But yeah, we're heading out this way. It shouldn't take us long to actually get to Site 4 now. We're less than a mile to it. But that was kind of neat. You know, got to see the the cemetery and that teepee back there, the little stick structure they've built. It's kind of cool. And now we're just woods walking over to our site. So guys, we just come down a massive incline from that area where we saw the stick teepee and all that stuff, that stick structure. And we're actually back down onto the bridle trail where the park and pack sites 2, 3, and 4, and 1 are at. And we should be heading over to site 4 right now. Pine Run actually looks like it's just right over here. And definitely pretty forest. Kind of a mix of pine and deciduous, some hardwood and such up in here. It's kind of neat. But we came from way up there. That was actually a pretty decent declination. I thought we may have something like that. I just wasn't hoping it was as steep as it was. It was switched back very well. But it was switched back pretty well, so not too strenuous as far as coming down. Going up would be a pain, but we don't have to go that way. We're actually going to go, we'll be out this direction going up to the car tomorrow. And that will be a portion of trail that we've done a number of times, so that's not too bad. Site 4, I believe, is right in this area somewhere. A little muddy right through here. Kind of keeping my eye out to see what we see. Yes, this says trail is closed out that way. I hope site 4 isn't out there. Anyway, this is Pine Run. I guess maybe we have to cross it to get to site 4. It just has a yellow blaze on it for the yellow bridle trail.
Okay.
So I guess we'll head down here and see where this trail leads us. If we get to site 3, we know we've gone too far. Oh, this is pretty muddy right through here. This is what happens when you have a hiking trail share horse trail. You get mud like this. This could be interesting right through here. Looks like the trail goes right over there, so wow. Watch your footing right through here, Alex.
Yeah.
It's semi-solid, but you're going to squish quite a bit. All right, I got down that. And now we're going to go across Pine Run here, guys. And site 4 should be in the vicinity of where we're at now. Still a pretty area. All right, gonna try to make our way slowly across all this. Oh, that gets a little deep right there. Right. Do this. Oh, so close. I am probably going to end up in the water, guys. Oh, I think I made it. I didn't get wet. I got lucky. Yeah, I kind of went through this little bit shallower water right through here. And if you want to, you can come back up over here and come across over here. All right. I mean, it's pretty dry over there. I mean, you could probably make it no problem there. Just
Step up here.
no, where did I go? I went over to here. Yeah, like over in that area.
How'd you get over there?
I don't remember. I think I stepped like there, that rock, and then to here. There you go. Hey, good job. So we made it to Site 4. Was a little bit further than we thought. I was under the impression that Site 4 was on the yellow bridle trail. It's actually on the red, which actually comes up this large elevation. We're up on a ridge. I don't know if you can tell. We'll walk right over here. You can get a definitely good idea on how high up we are. So yeah. So yeah, we're definitely a much higher elevation than I thought. We're up on this ridge. It's a little breezy. So I'm kind of worried that maybe overnight we may catch a little bit more wind. So we're gonna have our rain flies a little bit closer together and a little bit further down. We've picked out 2 or 3 options. I mean, this site is huge. There is plenty of space for hammocks, tents, multiple people, multiple groups. In fact, I mean, you could go way over in here. I wouldn't be surprised there's fire rings over in there. Might take a look, but yeah, definitely way up off the ridge. Down that valley that I was showing you is Pine Run, where you have to get water. We didn't realize that this was that far off of Pine Run, so we actually hiked all the way up here, had to go back down and get water and come back up. So that was fun. Yeah, just like I kind of figured. Here's another fire ring. You know, people probably come over in here as groups and put stuff down. Actually, in fact, there's some wood right there we're going to grab. Not sure if there's anything else in the area. Definitely that one little fire ring. Pretty on busy weekends, people come in and like don't check the kiosk or just say, oh, I'm just going to come in and kind of semi-disperse camp. You know, they'll pick some place like that and make a little ring. You're not really supposed to do that here, but we've always used the middle rings when we make fires here. But, you know, if somebody would come in and decide, you know, hey, they've hiked this far in, they want to camp here, yeah, come on over and find you a spot. It's fine with me. There may be even some more stuff out that way. Can't really spot much. I kind of spotted that one from a distance. But the actual campsite is huge. We have plenty of signal. I mean, I have full internet and everything. Instagram pictures, guys. But yeah, it's a nice little site. Been great for a tent. I mean, you could have put a tent right there, had the fire ring here, or put a tent here. But I think we're going to try to go for over in here for our hammocks, or over in here. Worst case scenario, we can even step it back a little ways over here and over in here. I mean, there's definitely plenty of options where we can hang our hammocks. But that was a little bit of a beast. Altogether, as far as the actual hike from Site 6 to here, it was just under 5 miles. I was expecting 4.5. It was 4.8. But then we did have to go back down to Pine Run and come back up, and that added 2 more miles. So, hike-wise, 4.8. Total for the day, we're at almost 7. Definitely kind of crazy. Alex has 1.5 liters of water. I have 1.5 liters of water that we carried up here, and then we went down and filled up the Catadine. Be Free. That was 1 liter. And then we've got our Knock 3-liter bladder, and it is pretty much full. It's at 3 liters right there. So, good to go. We have roughly 7 liters of water for the night. I mean, definitely more than enough. Just wanted to make sure we were good. It is only 12:15 right now, so we've got all day long to get wood, sit here, relax. We're actually going to get ready to get a spot of lunch. I've got mashed potatoes, a little non-carb, but it's actually only half a helping, so it's not so bad. You're doing tuna?
Yeah, I'm doing tuna and ramen.
Tuna and ramen. Yeah.
I'm going to cook the ramen and then put the tuna down in it. And And with the tuna being like just normal tuna, there's no flavoring to it. I think it'll actually be pretty good to just have that added flavor, and it'll be nice.
The extra calories and protein too.
Yeah.
That protein for that sore knee, I mean, it'll help maybe.
I hope so.
But yeah, this is a pretty site. I mean, you do have some pines. You got the deciduous. That's pretty much a pine forest all out in that direction. Some more pines mixed in. So it's kind of neat. It's kind of cloudy, but it's the big poofy white clouds, so I'm not worried about rain so much.
Sorry, poofy white clouds.
Well, you know, what are they? The cumulus?
No clue.
Cumulus, I believe is what they're called. Because the cirrus.
No idea.
Oh Lord, I can't remember now. I believe it's cumulus. I've done burnt some brain cells. But I'm kind of hoping these kind of blow out and the sun comes out and it warms up a little bit. Because guys, right now, it is only 60 degrees. Yeah, August 5th in Ohio, and it's 60 degrees here at site. I'm kind of stressing that because if it's 60 degrees now, once it gets dark, it's supposed to be a clear sky tonight. It's actually supposed to clear off really, really bright tonight. It may get kind of chilly up on this ridge, especially if we have a wind blowing. We may see temperatures in the mid 40s, maybe even low 40s. That could be interesting because literally the only extra layer of clothes we have is an extra shirt, and we just have we have the 40-degree underquilts and our 60-degree sleeping bags. We weren't expecting temperatures like this, you know, not even ballpark. So we'll see how tonight goes. I'll probably still be comfortable. Alex may get chilly. I may have to give her my extra shirt to sleep in, and she'll just have 3 layers of shirts. Hopefully that'll keep her warm. And nothing else, maybe she'd take my shirt and just put it over her legs in her sleeping bag, just to keep her warm, because I don't want her getting cold, and she really needs to make sure that knee stays warm because it could get sore if it gets cold. But we're gonna get lunch, relax a little bit, then we're gonna get site set up. I'll show you my hammock, the new hammock setup, as we do that. And then we're just gonna start looking for firewood and get us a nice hefty helping of firewood, guys. Well guys, it's about 20 to 6. We've been kind of busy getting the site set up. We did actually crawl in our hammocks mainly to kind of test to make sure we had a decent lay, but we both dozed off for about an hour or two. The atmosphere, the weather's kind of cleared off really nice. No major clouds. I mean, there's still some of the white clouds, but it's warmed up pretty decent. Check my watch, it's 74 degrees. Well, actually, as of an hour ago, it's probably a little bit warmer now even. We did go ahead and gather up quite a bit of wood for the night. Process up what we can. Because I did carry my saw in, but I didn't carry my axe. So these bigger pieces we weren't able to process. We only had a small bushcraft knife. In fact, the last time I carried that one and actually used it was here at Mohican last October, so that's kind of interesting. Alex actually is carrying it right now, and that's the only one we actually have with us. So we were able to split about half of the big pieces we had. So we should be good for a fire for a few hours tonight. Be able to sit around and relax a little bit. Other than that, yeah, it's been kind of quiet. We've seen about 5 groups of riders come through on horses, but no one hiking. There are some people definitely down here in the valley because site 2 and 3 are down in this valley next to Pine Run. I'm not sure exactly where they're at in relation to us. I mean, I think looking at the map, we should be pretty much right in between the two. Like site 3 would be over this direction a little ways, and site 2 should be like right over here. We were actually looking for pine needles to use as tinder for the fire, and we were walking out this direction because there's a stand of pine trees. We figured there'd be some over there, which we did find quite a bit. We're good to go there. But we caught a big gust of campfire smoke, and we assumed that would probably be, the way the wind's blowing, it's coming from this direction a little bit towards us. We would assume that was from campsite 3. So there definitely is some people down in the woods down there. We actually, to be honest, I'm pretty sure I've heard them a couple of times, their voices kind of drifting up the hill. So that's kind of interesting. We kind of knew there would be people over there because they were on the kiosk. No one was at site 3 when we signed up, so this is somebody new that's either come in after us yesterday or come in today. But that's kind of cool. And like I said, we've seen at least 4, if not 5 groups of riders. Most of them are 2. I think we've only seen like 2 riders apiece, right? There wasn't a larger group. Yeah, I didn't think so. But anyway, it's a pretty nice evening. Like I said, it's about 15 to 6, warmed up pretty well. We do still have a nice little breeze coming through, so once the sun goes down, it'll get a little chilly. We'll probably have our long sleeve shirts on and be kind of comfortable with those. And of course, we'll have the fire going. Normally I would kick my shoes off and put my flops on about this time of night, but with the wind blowing in and it being a little bit cooler, and knowing we're definitely going to be doing a fire tonight to stay warm, but also just to have a little bit of fun, I think I'm going to leave my boots on. I've got them loosened up, and where I did lay down, I mean, I was probably in the hammock a good hour and a half, and I did sleep at least an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. My feet don't feel too bad, so I'm just going to leave them on and just put my flops away, because I figure once the sun kind of starts going down, it's going to get a little bit cool, and I just don't feel like dealing with being chilly tonight. But we've got our cook system still sitting out in our water and stuff. You know, we can do dinner here in a little while. I've got spaghetti. You've got tacos?
I have
Buffalo chicken tonight. She's going to do tacos tomorrow. I've got buffalo chicken for tomorrow. And probably get all of our water bottles filled up before it gets dark. That way we're filtered for the night and be good to go there. And probably be able to filter a little bit tomorrow. We only have, looking at the map, maybe a mile and 1/10 to get out of here to the car. Now, of course, then we are going to go over to site 8 or site 9 if nothing happens. Alex's knee is still bothering her a little bit, but it's not severe, so we might be good to stay. We'll see. I'm hoping. In fact, you could probably get a dose of medicine here in about an hour, so that'll help get her some naproxen, maybe loosen some of that inflammation up, get her in the hammock, and she can stretch out and relax. But like I said, a good evening. Forest is really pretty. Sun is directly out west from us. It's going to set right over in here, which means the moon will be coming up over in this stand. We probably won't see it because before it gets up above these trees, I mean, you're probably talking, I don't think it comes up to about 10:30, 10:15, somewhere around that range tonight. We'll probably be in bed before it clears these trees. Probably see it in the morning, probably out this direction. If we get up as early as we did today. May not, because we don't have a big rush tomorrow. And I figure the longer Alex can lay there, kind of with her feet elevated in the hammock, because we do put our feet above our head just a little bit. That's more comfortable for us. Some people like their head above their feet, but her feet will be elevated, that knee will be elevated a little bit. So hopefully it'll feel pretty good in the morning. We'll see. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and we'll take a look at my hammock setup that I've got now. It's not the best place to see it because we've kind of done our hammocks very similar to the way we did at Red River Gorge, as well as Jenny and I have done this occasionally. We kind of interlaced our rain flies. This is mine up here. It's a bare butt, if you can tell. Pretty much that's the hammock, the rain flies we seem to like, at least for summer. And they are the asymmetrical longer hammocks. This is the one Alex is carrying. It's a red bare butt. This is an older model. Mine's the newer one. Come under here. you know, like I show you, we do have them overlap, just kind of give us some extra living space, mainly because we knew we didn't have to worry about rain or anything like that tonight. Now, this is my hammock setup. You can see it pretty decent. I have this bug net that goes around it. I kind of did this on purpose because in the winter and fall months, if I'm wanting to take my hammock, I don't have to carry that. That will save some additional weight. This is the Chill Gorilla. Let's take a look. Make sure I get the name correct. The Oh Hell No Bug Net from chillgorilla.com. That's kind of who does our snake skins, our sleeves. If you notice these right here that slide onto these, it's Chill Gorilla as well. Mine are pretty old. I've actually had these for almost a year and a half now, but they still work really well. And then inside here, I get this zipper done. If you notice, it has this nice big half moon door for that Chill Gorilla bug net. I like that bug net really well, and like I said, I don't even have to carry that in the winter. I have a bare butt hammock. It's really lightweight, very comfortable. I slept in it last night, I slept in it earlier. It's pretty decent. The only thing is, I do see occasionally we have these right here, which, I mean, that could be a quality control issue, and I'll let you know what I think about those as time goes on. It doesn't seem to be any problem with the stitching itself. It's just you have those little flyaways that just mean, you know, that it could be better done. That's one thing I've noticed. But this hammock is only like $25 too. It's not like it's an expensive hammock or anything like that. So for the price, no big deal. Of course, I'm still carrying the same underquilt. It's the One Tigress underquilt, 40 degrees. And I've got my little Trekology pillow in here. And one good thing about this bug net, if you want to pitch your sleep bag off, you can just toss it down there. It doesn't go on the ground. It's just on the bug net. That's that little 40 or 60 degree sleeping bag I have. And then underneath here, I kind of got this little mesh. It's literally kind of like for stuffed animals for like a kid's room, but I've attached it to my hammock and I can store stuff directly in it. That's actually my extra clothes and stuff in there, and you can just keep that stuff inside the bug net off the ground. You don't have to worry about it. Just thought it was kind of a neat little idea that I added to the hammock here. And like I said, I have my extra clothes in there right now. Let's get this zip back up so we don't get any bugs in. And to go ahead and finish this little setup, I'll go ahead and show you back here. Literally, I just have the rainfly. This is the rainfly. Pretty, you can see it really good now. Just kind of have both of them tied to this one stake here. Alex's comes across my ridge line here and down. And the guess I'll go ahead and show you these two. These straps are really awesome. They're not even in production now. I got lucky grabbing these. These are Hiking Guru straps. They work really well. They're weighted at 1,000 pounds. But the reason I really like them, and of course, here's the snake skin for my my hammock, Chill Gorilla, like I said. But what's really cool about these straps do not have like the little loops, like for instance, like Alex's does. See, she has just, you know, 4 loops here, and you got to pick which one. This one actually has this buckle, and that buckle just slides back and forth. It's really taut. I've never had it slip, and I've used these quite a few times, so I like those. You know, you can get a perfect setup without having to fiddle around and try to figure out which hole to put in it, you know, put into your strap there like that. You know, I'd like to get Alex some more, you know, a better set of straps that maybe would have more of these loops here, or really I would like to get another set of those, but unfortunately on Amazon those are not in stock. They're not, I haven't seen them in stock in a year or so. I think they're out of production. I looked them up. The company's still in business. They're not making the Hiking Guru straps right now. So in fact, actually, this is what I was looking for on the other one. I can show you real quick. It's Hike Guru straps, and it's 750 pounds per strap. I was actually off a little bit, and they are 10 feet long. And I have, at one time, when we went to Germantown last September, I actually had the strap out to here on both of them, and it held just fine. That was the first time I had gotten to use them, and then, I've used them this trip now, and I'm really digging these straps and everything. And I did replace the carabiners on the bare butt hammock. I like these better. These are weighted a little bit better, so don't have to worry about those snapping either. But that's my new hammock setup, and so far I've actually enjoyed it. I haven't really had much problem with it. I really need to take a hammock out a little bit more often. When we first started backpacking, I was exclusively using a hammock, and I really enjoyed it. And then I switched over to the tent and was trying that out a few times. We used the bonger for a little while, and then we've switched over to the mirror tent that we have now. And at this point in time, I guess where I'm not quite as efficient with my hammock now, because it used to be I could take it down and put it up really quick. I'm a little bit slower with it now. I kind of dig the tent better. I sleep better in a hammock, but for ease and efficiency, at least at this point in time, and like I said, I think that's just I'm rusty with the hammock. So I need to take this out a little bit more and kind of figure out what I really do like, and just maybe not so much to stick with it, bounce back and forth and still enjoy a hammock camp occasionally, but if I like a tent, do that more often, whatever. But I'd like to find which system I like the best for like the harder trails. Like when I want to be out there and I'm hiking 10, 12, 14 miles, 15 miles, and I get the site and I just want to be quick, efficient, get it up, eat, and go to bed. Kind of like what we did at Archer's Fork or Red River Gorge. Now Red River Gorge, we used the hammocks, and I really enjoyed the hammocks there. Was real efficient with them, got them up quick, got them down quick, no big deal. Been a little bit slower this time, but like I said, it has been almost a year since I've used a hammock, so that could be why. Beginner wise, as far as if you're a beginning backpacking, tents are a lot easier. They don't take as much finesse to try to figure out the lay and make sure you're comfortable in them, things like that. Generally, I get a pretty good lay. I always have. Get it to where I can actually sleep really well in my hammock, but I have seen plenty of people who struggle with that, have a hard time getting their rain flies up. I am trying a new little system out with my rain fly. If I end up liking this system and I actually can use it over the next few trips, I'll show you what that system is. If not, I'm just not even going to bother showing you guys, because it is a little finicky. It's it's not using knots or anything like that. I have like these little basic little devices that you can use to kind of move stuff around, this and that. So like I said, if I end up liking that, I'll show you. If not, I'll go back to the knots or try something else. I'm always looking, I'm always looking to be lighter on trail, have a lighter pack, be able to hike more, but I'm also looking for efficiency. I mean, I will carry an extra half a pound of gear if I could be very efficient at site, putting up, taking down, and getting back on trail and doing what I need to do, and not having to fight with things or struggle to get something done. So that's kind of the things I'm looking for. Just trying new things, figuring out what's the most efficient for me, because everybody's pack is different. I mean, even Alex, there's different things that she'll do that I won't do because it's more efficient for her. She likes it better. And there's things I do that she kind of questions. She's like, well, why do you do it that way? I'm like, well, it's better for me. She doesn't like it that way. And that's literally, me teaching her how to do this stuff and us learning together at the same time. And Jenny, she'll carry an extra 2 pounds if, sometimes just to have a little bit of creature comfort, because that's the way she is. So, but that's what I've got set up this time. Like I said, this is kind of the way we set it up at Red River Gorge both nights that we were there. And Jenny and I actually, the first time we ever used a hammock, well, not the first time, we went on a vacation. There's videos of this, if you can look back at the backlog. Like our first, we did like a 9-day trip where we backpacked and kind of used some of the equipment and stuff. But it was like literally just different places, and we went to Vesuvius. Well, the second time we stopped off, we went to Burr Oak Primitive Camping at Burr Oak Cove, and we set up our hammocks just like this. And it worked really well for us. We've even gotten rain on these and not really had to worry about getting wet. So this is a pretty good setup for us. It keeps us close, and Alex definitely appreciates that on trail because she don't like being far away from me. Man, the forest is beautiful right now. Kind of late in the evening here. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. We really are enjoying Mohican Memorial State Forest. If you have enjoyed the video, definitely like, share, subscribe, and comment, guys. It helps us out here at Living the Grand Adventure. We'll see you in the next video on the trail, guys. Always remember to live your grand adventure to the fullest. Take care. See you then.